Yo, what's up YouTube? We're bringing you a no, it's not a new video. It's actually a rehash video. I'm actually re-recording this because I felt that my conduits slash night fae video wasn't the best. And I just wanted to actually, so I rewatched it and I thought about it and I thought I should actually remake the conduits and the soulbinds into separate videos. So I'm gonna try and push out these two content very much straight away, just because I think while just rewatching it, again, they just weren't up to scratch. I don't think I explained them enough, and I just want to do that to you so you guys get the best content. So today we'll talk about just conduits, and then I'll make a night fae soulbind afterwards, and because you'll be able to talk about that much more and into much more context, so I can talk about Naya, Dreamweaver, and Quarian and how they'd be used, especially after discussing in the survival or in the Hunter Discord, in the Survival Hunter channel. A lot of people have been talking about different ways to be able to use them, and it opened my eyes a lot more. So I just want to do that. But again, thank you to all the new people. Thank you all to new subscribers. Thank you to all the commenters, I appreciate it, and all the people that joined the Discord and whoever joined my stream on Twitch. Again, my Twitch is down there. I do stream and do stream primarily World of Warcraft and Survival Hunter content. So hope you guys are enjoying. So let's talk about the conduits. Let's talk about endurance conduits first. Right. So for endurance conduits, we have 4. We have Harmony of the Toltolan, which reduces the aspect of your turtle cooldown by 17.5 seconds, which is at 213 eye level. You have Rejuvenating Wind, which when you rejuvenate, you also put a hot on yourself that will increase, well, that will heal you for 16% of your maximum health every 8 seconds. The next one is Marksman Advantage. When you put Hunter's Mark on a target, they will do a % damage less to you, so mine's at 5%. And the last one is Resilience of the Hunter, is when you feign death, you take a % damage less for a reduced duration afterwards. So this one's for 8 seconds. So, endurance conduits. For PvP, very great conduits, the Resilience of a Hunter, especially when you're also running the power, the Craven Stratagem, which puts your cooldown of your feign death to 15 seconds. Resilience of the Hunter does only proc once every 30 seconds, so every second feign death you will get this reduced 3% damage. And how fights can go for over 30 seconds, so it's really good to have for a PvP. That's pretty much the main one. Another one for PvP, you could probably use Marksman Advantage if you can break a rogue out of stealth, or a druid out of stealth. If they're going to use Convoke, you can hit the Hunter's Mark on them to break them out, and they'll do 5% less damage. This one's also good for PvE dungeons and raiding, because bosses in raids, they just do AoE damage, 5% less AoE damage to you. And in Mythic Plus, you got the Prideful buffs, but this is not a Prideful, and they do less damage to you when they do the pulsing AoE. Rejuvenating Wind, I don't see Rejuvenating Wind being used too much often. It can help you out in raids as well, just to keep you topped up, such as possibly Hungering Destroyer, well, any boss really, but I don't see that being used too much. And the last one is, again, Harmony of Toltolan. I'm using it currently in one of my endurance slots, is because to get the turtle down another 17.5 seconds. This just makes it so on Lady Enerva we can do more cheesing the tactic when we're baiting the ads. So if you use an immunity before she casts the ad thing, I don't know what it's actually called, the ads don't spawn. So being able to use it more than once or twice in a raid fight is going to help the raid push the bosses further, because we can do more boss damage rather than spending more time trying to kill ads. That's my main. Again, resilience PvP, marksman PvE PvP, rejuvenating. Don't see that using too much unless you need a heal. And Tortolan is just good for raiding. All right. Talk about the finesse conduits. First one, tactical retreat. Disengage slows nearby enemy for 33% for 3 seconds. The next one is ambuscade. Ambuscade. When a trap is triggered, the cooldown of your disengage is reduced by 1.5 seconds. Next one, cheater's vigor. Aspect of the cheater's secondary movement speed lasts an additional 3 seconds, and its cooldown is reduced by 21 seconds. And the last one is reversal of the fortune. Whenever you successfully interrupt somebody, you gain a set amount of focus. So since we're talking about reversal of fortune, as you can see here, this is really used for mythic dungeons. You can also use it for PvP when you're running Naya's tools, because just being able to interrupt somebody and doing another flat amount of damage to them, so you have like another burst window, such as if you're trying to burst down a disc priest, they're using penance. If you need another big burst of damage, you're going to be dealing an extra 2.5 to say 2.6k damage over 30 seconds. And if you interrupt them a second time, they'll take an additional 410. So it's good for like a little burst window in PvP, but I like to use reversal of the fortune in Mythic Plus, because you're always going to have mobs that are casting, and since you're melee, your interrupts on a 15-second, meaning you're going to get a lot more focus. So every 15 seconds you can get an extra 10 focus, which is really good. That means you can fit in every 3 interrupts, you can fit in another raptor strike, which is really good. So I like to use this for Mythic Plus mostly. Cheater's Vigor, this will be in here, most likely not be in here. The only reason why I would run this is if I run Born of the Wild and also Hunting Pack. It's just so we can get around the world very quickly in a PvE outdoor situation. So like if you're doing the more dailies, you can get your cooldown done by half, like to a minute, or so. I think it's like a minute, and then you can just like run around and kill things quicker if you don't have the more amount, which I don't, so I do that quite some time. Ambuscade, I don't know when this is ever going to be used. It could be used in PvE PvP, so if you need to be kiting a lot more, it could work with tactical retreat as well. So you can disengage, and if you disengage into a tar trap, then you get 1.5 seconds off. And then you can just keep kiting as a survivor, and then you can then you can freezing trap, you can steel trap, you can do all those. So these two work really well together in a PvP situation, because you have a lot more kiting ability, and a lot more get the F out of my way, I'm trying to do stuff. So you can you can pretty much, these two are PvP. These two are PvP talents, which I really like running tactical retreat in PvP. Just gives that little burst of get away from me. So I'll disengage into soul shape and flicker away, and then you can tar trap and your freezing trap, get that back, and it's just a lot more kiting, right? Just a lot more kiting. So they're the finesse conduits, boys. They're the finesse conduits. Alright. Last but not least, the most important ones, really, is the potency conduits. So let's talk about potency. So potency, we have Spirit of Attunement. Wild Spirits last for 3 seconds longer and deals an additional 14.5% increased damage when you use your Wild Spirits. Next one is Deadly Tandem. Coordinated assault duration is increased by a flat amount of seconds, so mine's at 6 seconds. Flame Infusion, Carve increases the next damage of your next wildfire bomb explosion So the initial explosion by 6.3%, stacking up to 2 times. You have Stinging Strike, which increases your Raptor Strike / Mongoose Bite by % damage. And last but not least, the best one. Well, not the best. Well, the best one, like the best overall one that you use in all situations as your #1 priority, is Strength of the Pack. When your kill command's cooldown is reset, you gain 5% extra damage for 4 seconds. Why is this one good? Because it gives you pretty much an aura buff every time you get a kill command reset. That means your Serpent Stings will do more damage, your Wildfire Bombs will do more damage, your Wildfire dot damage will do more damage. You know what I mean. So you're just getting a flat amount of damage, and it also gives a really fun way to play the spec, because when you get the resets, when you get these 4-second resets, and it lines up to like resetting your dots as well. So when you're resetting your Serpent Sting in the pandemic window, if you're throwing your next Wildfire Bomb, that initial explosion will be, and the initial dot that Serpent Sting actually hits will be increased by was it 5%? Yeah, 5%. And also like resetting in, like I mentioned, resetting in pandemic, it's just really good. It scales really well. It does with your Bloodseeker in PvP. It'll help you with your Murder of Crows. So if you get a reset of your kill command in PvP, it will help you do more damage with your Murder of Crows, which also scales with your Mastery. And your Viper's Venom, when you switch to Viper's Venom, so if you get 4%, it deals an Viper's Venom does 250 initial. Get a Viper's Venom, another 5% on top. Really, really strong #1 conduit, Potency conduit, which you will always run, and then you run something else afterwards. I have Stinging Strike. Stinging Strike, I think is going to scale really well later on. Once we start using Mongoose Bite, because once we use Mongoose Bite, it changes to Mongoose Bite, meaning the focus dump windows in Mongoose Bite are going to hit so hard, right? They're going to hit so hard. So if you're running double conduit, you can do Strength of the Pack and Stinging Strike for single target as well. That would be really good. If you run a AoE, you run like in a fortified week. If you want to use double potency, you can go Strength of the Pack, Spirit of Attunement, which I like personally. Just because it does more damage in AoE. And the other two, Flame Infusion, Carve increases the damage of your next Wildfire Bomb by 6.3%, taking up to 2 times. So the only way I see this ever being used if Butchery becomes usable, right? I love Butchery. Butchery does an insane spinning animation, I wish I was saying, because what you do is for Butchery, to get the most of Wildfire Infusion, you throw your bomb, then you Butchery, so you can get the double buff from Flame Infusion, and then you can reset the cooldown of your next bomb by 10 seconds. So I'd love to see this work. I reckon that'd be insanely fun. You could, like, you bomb, butcher, bomb. That'd be sick. Like, the amount of bursts you get would be insane. And especially running with Wildfire Cluster. And last but not least, the end of town is just, you could see it working with Birds of Prey, with Nesting Wings Trap Apparatus as your legendary. But since Coordinated Assault isn't really that strong of a cooldown for us, it's something that you'd probably never use until maybe later down the track. But there you go. They're the conduits. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you like it, leave a like, leave a subscribe, all that jazz. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.